Welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. I am Mary and I am joined by Andrea today. It's just the two of us. We're happy to be here. It's a Friday.
Woohoo!
Yes, and we have a loaded program for you today. We are going to talk to Justin Hill. He is a butcher that is having some issues with federal mandates. And we're also going to talk about the Health Freedom Conference coming up. But so much to get to, so let's just jump right in. I want you to meet Justin Hill. He is a butcher shop owner up in Hazen, North Dakota. And I've known Justin because we actually have had some beef butchered by him, but I was up there, we're doing the hometown show. Hazen is our next one, or no, Valley City and then Hazen. And I bumped into him at the coffee shop that his wife owns. Lots of entrepreneurs up there. So welcome to the show, Justin.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You know, it was kind of a coincidence, ran into you at the coffee shop and talking to your wife. And of course, it had been a couple years since I'd seen you, but you refreshed my memory that you have the butcher shop up there. So we started talking about some issues going on. So why don't you tell our viewers what has happened in the last few weeks?
Okay. Wednesday morning, showed up for work, got into the shop there. We are a federally inspected plant. So we do have federal inspectors that show up on a daily basis. They have to be there for slaughter. They have to show up for once per shift when we do processing. So we basically deal with these guys on a daily basis. So Wednesday morning, the head veterinarian of the district showed up and handed me a piece of paper that stated that because of the new COVID strain and everything that's happening with that we will soon be mandated if the threat level rises to, I believe, the next step moderate, I think. But when that happens, our facility, my employees will have to be mandated to wear masks. Anytime that the federal inspectors or the federal veterinarians are around, we would be mandated that everybody in our plant would have to wear a mask.
Wow. And so you had a pretty good response to that, if I understand right. Why don't you tell our viewers what you told the inspector?
Well, so basically I asked the inspector, I said, well, you know, how can this be? How can you come into my facility and tell me how to run my facility? And he said, well, I'm not really telling you how to run it, but I'm just saying that, well, if you don't abide by this ruling, that we'll just pull our inspectors. And I said, so, well, you're basically kind of pushing me into this, because if I don't do it, then you're going to pull your inspectors, which means I can't do federal beef anymore. So I also asked him, I said, well, so when are you guys going to start paying my bills, being you want to run my plant? And he basically told me, so, well, that's not what we're doing. And I said, well, it pretty much is, because you're telling me exactly how I'm supposed to run my plant. And if I don't do it by your guidelines, you're basically telling me that you're going to pull everybody out of here. So if you're going to tell me how to run my plant, when are you going to start paying my bills and you know, helping me out with other things? So he didn't really have an answer for me on that. He kind of shied away and went back to his, well, you know, I don't like this, and you know, but this has come way up above my head. We have to do it this way. And you know, I said, well, you know, so basically I'm getting bullied into doing it your way, or I lose my federal inspection.
Wow. And then so when you lose your federal inspection, you're not allowed to sell beef, or what are the rules?
So under federal inspection, there's a couple different ways. The first way is we have a lot of clients that bring us beef from pretty much all over North Dakota. We just did one from Lemon, South Dakota. So we have people coming from all different areas in North Dakota. So when they bring it to us, we can slaughter them under a federal inspection. We process them under federal inspection. That rancher can take his beef and sell it by the piece. He can sell it by a half. He can sell it to restaurants. He can sell it to grocery stores. Pretty much whatever he wants to do with it. On the other hand, we can actually go out, which we do. We buy local beef from local farmers, ranchers. We bring them in, we slaughter them under federal, we process them under federal, and then we can sell them through our retail. So if I don't wear a mask, that means all of that's out the window. I'd go back to a custom plant.
Wow.
So if you're, so you can only do custom processing then? Is that the only alternative then to the federal inspections process?
No, we can actually do a state inspected as well. So you have your custom, your state, and your federal.
So what's the difference between state and federal?
State process, or if you're a state plant, you can do the same thing. So you can bring them in, you can process them and sell them that way, but they cannot cross state lines. Under federal, we could actually take your beef and we could sell it into South Dakota, Montana, Minnesota, pretty much as long as you're not crossing international borders.
Okay, so, and there are some niche markets out there. There's some restaurants that say, hey, we get our beef from this ranch or this certain area of the country, isn't there?
Yes, we have quite a few clients that actually sell a ground burger and stuff to restaurants. For here in Hazen, we did it until we actually ended up buying the building and putting in the coffee shop and the sausage plant here. We were actually selling local burger to the previous restaurant, and then they had local burger every day. So anytime you bought a burger, you were buying something from a local rancher.
So did they give you a date?
They didn't really give me a date. They just said if the CDC website, I'm supposed to be watching the CDC website, and if the CDC website ups the risk, that's when we're mandated to start wearing masks.
So it really just limits where you can sell if you're either federally versus state or custom, right?
Yes. Yep.
So it limits your customers.
Yes. Custom, the animal needs to be sold before it comes to us. State inspected means you have to stay in the state of North Dakota, and then federal opens it up to going across state lines with it.
Right. And I know in a lot of it too, it sounds like it's cumbersome. Of course it is. But it's just one more thing that the government is trying to get in. It's like, what are they afraid of? Are these beef going to spread COVID? I mean, you guys are amongst yourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's a clean facility. You guys bleach everything down. It's, super clean. If anything, it's cleaner than the restaurant that they're eating the beef
Probably.
in. And that's the crazy part, because you guys are required, by the health department to be super clean.
Yep. We're required there. Also under federal inspection, we take certain precautions for any kind of E. coli, any kind of STEC, anything like that. I mean, just yesterday, I do believe it was that we get tested on our beef samples and stuff like that constantly. So yeah, under a butcher, I mean, we constantly are washing our hands. We're probably one of the cleaner professions out there, even though it's not really a glamorous profession.
Well, I hear you. I think it is glamorous, if you ask me. Anyone who loves a good old-fashioned steak and you know where it's coming from, that's very glamorous. So you need to give yourself more credit.
You got to be a certain breed to do what we do.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we have so much more that we want to talk about, but we're going to take a quick break. So we'll catch up with Justin and Hilltop Meats right after this on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
I'm Rick Becker from No Apologies. Welcome to your after-hours oasis of sanity. Watch us weeknights at 9 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota. Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county.
Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Billings, your host of The Right Side with Doug Billings on Beck News. We bring you high-profile guests, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive guests. Now, you're not going to see these guests in most of the mainstream media outlets. Another thing that I do here is give guests a platform to speak freely. You're not going to see me censor anybody. Please join us, won't you? Weeknights right here on Beck TV and online at beck.news. Cheers.
Pub 21, your one stop for fun, drinks, and food. Our spacious facility provides COVID-safe fun for you and all your friends. With nightly bingo and specials, you can be sure there's something to do for everyone. If you're staying in for the night, we've got you covered just across the way with Pub 21 Liquor. We have a wide variety of options, from wine to whiskey and everything in between. Stop in today at 1014 South 12th Street in Bismarck to see what all the buzz is about. You won't be disappointed.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. On today, it's two ladies with another view on Beck, right? It's Friday, and we're so excited to be here. But we'll pick up where we left off. We were talking to Justin Hill of Hilltop Meats out in Hazen, North Dakota. And he was just given some recommendations because he is federally inspected, and he's going to have to make his employees wear face masks. So what do your employees think about that, Justin?
They're not very happy. When this first started out with the whole COVID thing, you know, the last year, we kind of talked about different things. We tried to take some steps, you know, to do our part here in Hazen and stuff like that too. We did close down our retail a little bit, not really kind of knowing, you know, what this was all about at that point. But now that we've kind of been through it, after that had happened, I did talk to my employees, and there was a lot of disgust, I think you could say, that, you know, my building is not a federal building. It's just a federally inspected plant. By no means is it, you know, belong to the feds or anything like that. So there was a lot of, well, how can they make us do this? Do we have to do it? What are you going to do about it? You know, how are you going to make it so this doesn't happen? So, yeah, I don't think that I'll actually lose any employees over it. There was comments, well, if that happens, maybe, you know, we'll go find something else that we don't have to deal with this. But I've got my employees are pretty awesome, and they'll stick it out. It's just, like I said, you know, I talked to my wife, Jess, and I said, I think it's just emotions, you know, getting to them, because, you know, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to wear the masks? Aren't they already wearing masks? So if they're wearing masks, why do we have to wear a mask? Aren't they already covered? And a lot of the inspectors are already, you know, they have their vaccines that are supposed to be helping them. So why push it on to us that we're the ones that are supposed to come up and, you know, wear masks as well? Aren't they already protected? In my opinion, yeah, that's why they went and got their so-called vaccines, and that's why they're wearing their masks. And so they're protected, aren't they?
Well, that's just it. You know, you would think with a vaccine, what are they so afraid of? If they're protected, then they shouldn't be afraid.
You'd think that.
You would think that.
So what are your options?
Well, we're still kind of weighing things out, what we're going to do. I've got some calls into a few people, some friends of mine that another fellow federal butcher owner or plant owner. I have a call into him. He's kind of doing some research, trying to figure some stuff out with me, to see what our options are, where do our steps go. And I guess if all else fails, we might have to slow down on doing federal processing until we get it all figured out.
Well, and what's so great? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, which, you know, honestly, looking at it and talking to that friend of mine, that, you know, like he said, if this all happens, there could be a shortage of processing in North Dakota, federal processing.
Well, there's such a shortage already as far as, you know, the smaller butcher shops. They tried closing those down about 10 years ago when they started with all these different mandates. It was really difficult for small butchers to stay in business. That's the crazy part. But here's the funny thing when you think about it. Okay, it's okay, you can do the exact same thing in the States, but you can't do it across a state line. So do they automatically become contagious when they cross a state line?
Yeah, I don't know what their thinking on it is. It really baffled me. You know, the next time that we get together with the head vet, I do have a lot of questions, and hopefully he can answer. Right,
because it just doesn't make sense that, okay, you're contagious if you cross the state line, but you're not if you stay within the state. It just none of it makes sense.
Well, but if they're federally inspected, then they have federal employees coming in to inspect their plants.
Sure.
So it's not that they're necessarily where they're sending it, it's that they have federal employees coming into the building.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
I mean, that's how I'd get to there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so, you know, like a lot of our inspectors will come out of Bismarck, in the Richardson surrounding areas and stuff like that. So, you know, they're getting a lot of different exposures to different buildings, and stuff like that too. But again, if they're so worried about it, they are wearing their own masks. And I know, talking to a few of them, you know, pretty much all of them got their vaccines, because I mean, they did send out an email asking each one of them if they were going to get vaccinated or not.
Well, and then there's also the 6-foot rule. Okay, so just stay 6 feet away. So if it's a 6-foot rule, then there you have it. That's all you need.
Well, that's one thing we came up with. Well, we'll build you a plexiglass box and you can walk around in that, I guess.
We'll give you a whole box.
Yeah, we'll make your whole box. You can walk wherever you want.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So, you know, it also makes you think, a little bit further ahead. Okay, so a lot of people received federal money this last year. Okay, so is that the next step? Are they going to say, hey, since we gave you federal money, you now have to follow federal rules? You know, they just make up rules as they go along.
They already do that with a lot of things.
The
state of North Dakota gets a lot of federal dollars, and there's always strings attached.
Right. Well, my son just got a letter yesterday, or one of the boys did, about he just got this grant, because it's a COVID grant and he doesn't have to pay it back. And so I have 4 kids going to college this year, and I think just so far one of them got a letter, and it's like he didn't apply for it, he just got a letter that he's getting a grant. And so there again, since it's federal money and they're attached to it, you know, I know they're trying to make some of the universities are saying they have to wear a mask. So it just opens up another box of worms, but we never thought of it.
It's a big box of worms, because if you start thinking of all the ways that you are subsidized by the federal government, you're going to be surprised. College students, federally subsidized Stafford loans. You're already federally subsidized.
Right. The highway, just driving here, you're federally subsidized. Just driving here, you're on a federal highway.
Well, and it starts with.
You cut out there. Justin. I think we lost Justin.
We might have.
We might have lost Justin. But anyway, it's just crazy. We got him back. But Justin, you were starting to tell us something.
Oh, I was just, you can hear me now?
I can, yes.
Okay. You know, I was just saying it starts with a mask, but where does it end? Now it's going to be a mandated vaccine if you're a federal plant?
No thanks.
No thanks.
Yeah. Where does it stop?
Right, right. It just opens up more questions than it has answers, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now with these different variants. But yet here, now this is completely off the subject, but they're letting lots and lots of illegal aliens in over the border, and they aren't tested for COVID. They are placed throughout the country, but now you as a small business owner has to have a mask, and all these vaccines and masks, and there's just too many unknowns in this entire country. It's just driving me crazy.
Well, and just look at the economy right now. I know, like around here, even a small town. So the last time that everybody had to shut their doors because of this,
right?
And we haven't even made up for that yet. We're still struggling to be able to find parts, to find the things that we need. And now we're going to go, back into it where everybody's shutting their doors and everybody's down.
Sure,
we're just going to be farther behind in our economy.
Right. Well, Justin, I want to thank you for coming, and I want our viewers to know that he does have a meat plant up in Hazen. If you want to get a beef butchered up there, take a look at him. And also, he has a sausage shop. We won't have time to talk about it today, but Justin, thanks for joining us. And I just want to remind everyone, think small business when you're doing your butchering and that type of stuff.
Absolutely, and remember to support your local ranchers and farmers.
Thank you. Take care, Justin. We'll be right back after
Thank you.
this on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Go for Launch 2018 series winner. Without further ado, it is my honors. Regina. The winning team is the Flumin River Excellent.
Oh my God!
They won!
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm coming to you with the most important commercial that I've ever done. All of you know what MyPillow and myself have gone through in the last 5 months in my efforts to bring the truth forward. Well, it's all come down to this. I'm having a cyber symposium on August 10th, 11th, and 12th. This historical event will be live streamed 72 hours straight on my new platform, frankspeech.com. You can help by getting everybody you know to go to frankspeech.com now. To help support this Cyber Symposium event, I am offering some of the best prices ever on my pillow products, but they're only offered at frankspeech.com. Go to frankspeech.com now and use the promo code on your screen or call the 1-800 number below to receive these exclusive MyPillow offers. Thank you and God bless.
Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car!
How will we?
The car! Your offer has been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we?
The closing!
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Billings, your host of The Right Side with Doug Billings on Beck News. We bring you high-profile guests, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive guests. Now, you're not going to see these guests in most of the mainstream media outlets. Another thing that I do here is give guests a platform to speak freely. You're not going to see me censor anybody. Please join us, won't you? Weeknights right here on Beck TV and online at beck.news. Cheers.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. It was interesting, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, it was. But right now we're joined by Lexi Wangler, and she is with the Health Freedom North Dakota. So I know you didn't hear everything on the other end that Justin was talking about, but it's just all these mandates. And I understand you have something. Well, first of all, I should properly introduce you. She is the president and founder or co-founder of Health Freedom North Dakota, and there is a big conference coming up right here in North Dakota. So I do thank you, or we thank you for joining us today.
Well, yeah, thank you guys so much for having us. It's been an honor to be on the show.
Thank you. I know we've been in touch off and on since the legislative session because there were so many issues up on the Capitol Hill. I always called the Bismarck Capitol Hill too because it is on a hill, but I've been told not to use that. So over there, we had a lot of legislative issues this spring about health freedoms and that type of stuff. So tell us.
Yeah, we sure did.
Tell us about, say, the mission of your organization.
So our mission is to educate North Dakotans on various healthcare treatments, procedures, those sorts of things, and also to advocate for North Dakotans for fraud, harm, and protect them from misinformation.
And so even though it's for North Dakotans, if you're listening from another part of the country or world right here on Beck TV, it's the same issues across the entire United States or world for that matter.
Yes, absolutely. It's crazy. It's like a tidal wave, it feels like. Like we've been preparing for it. We've kind of seen these sorts of things happening in other states, but just how quickly it's gone now with like with Stanford Health and what they're trying to require their employees to do. And now Essentia, I believe, Eventide, I think, is signed on to that. And there's rumors that even CHI St. Alexius will be announcing what their policy is going forward next week.
So when she brought that up, we need to just clarify that these medical providers are mandating that all the employees be vaccinated. Doesn't matter if you've had COVID before, if you're immune to it. Evidently, they don't believe in the natural immune system. And again, if you want to get a vaccine, hey, that's fine. If you don't want to get a vaccine, that's fine. But it just shouldn't be mandated. It should be a choice. And so that's where the issue is. And now it looks like they're trying to mandate it at Sanford, which is the largest employer in the state of North Dakota.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're actually allowing for religious and medical exemptions. However, that has been an issue in the past for employees to get that. One thing that it doesn't seem to be, they're not understanding is that it is it's our religion that we are asking for that exemption. And so we don't need to ask permission, we need to assert that this is our exemption. And unfortunately, that's not the way it's been going for some of the employers and employees in that situation.
So tell us about that. What's the roadblock?
There's hesitancy because it's all about the greater good, and so employers believe that by requiring the shot or the flu shot or anything else that they might ask the employees to do, that they are not willing to step up and do something for the greater good, even though it could affect that person's health.
So that wouldn't be the greater good of society if everyone was say the vaccine isn't what it's supposed to be. It isn't even federally approved at this point. It's just approved for emergency use only.
Right, and they believe what's happening is that they believe that it's going to be approved. And so by a certain date, I think it's September 1st, they want to see the employees that haven't had the jab yet, they want to see them have the first dose. And by November 1st, if they would go to with the Johnson & Johnson, that one jab for that particular vaccine, and have all of them by November 1st if they went with a different company such as Pfizer or Moderna.
So no, I know I've said this on air before, but Johnson & Johnson can't even make safe baby powder. I mean, so, right?
Right, yep. Well, and there's one thing that you can do. You can sign up to our page we want to try to be a rallying point for you. So if you go to www.healthfreedomnd.org/standupnd, you can just fill out your information there if you are an employer if you're an employee seeking, connection with other employees facing the same issue. We also have partnered with Stand for Health Freedom. It's a national organization that works with the legislatures and kind of help promote better bills and things like that. They have also done a survey for us. If you visit their website, I believe it's standforhealthfreedom.com/action/North-Dakota-discriminates-
we might have to get that.
We'll put it up on the website.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's writing that down.
So, yeah, I apologize, but it's a great survey if you've already felt discrimination in your workplace, or even with schools. That's another one.
Okay, so what was the main organization?
It's Stand for Health Freedom.
Standforhealthfreedom.org, probably?
It is .com, actually.
.com.
Yep.
So go ahead and take a look at that.
And I do want to mention with that, we are going to be that rallying point for you. And so anyone that is, needing to get some connections with other people that are feeling pressure, there is going to be in Bismarck, North Dakota, that I am aware of, there's going to be a meeting at Hillside Park. It's the Blue playground, I believe. Backup is supposed to be the green playground at 7 p.m. on August 12th.
And what's going on there?
They are just going to be meeting of the minds. So anyone that's feeling pressure, doesn't maybe want to take the jab or whatever it may be, wants to do something about it, and just maybe have a little venting session as well. So,
all right.
So you cover a lot of issues beyond just the vaccine.
Yes, absolutely. We care about clean drinking water. We care about clean food supply. So when you guys had brought in Mr. Hill there, it was very interesting to hear what they're trying to do with his employees and everything like that too. For clean, breathing, being able to breathe freely. A lot of different topics that we can talk about.
It's kind of funny, you mentioned breathing, and if anybody looks outside right now, you can hardly see across the street because it's so smoky.
Yes.
And if my science proves me correct from years ago, a smoke particle is larger than a virus.
Yes.
So wouldn't you think if the smoke was dangerous, you might have to wear a mask?
Yep, absolutely. There's, farmers that even like when they're working in their gosh, I can't even think of the word, the silos and everything, they're masking up, they call them a dust mask. And so it's majorly different from the particle that we're dealing with. I think it's 0.3 microns for the coronavirus versus, a smoke particle, as you mentioned, or, even like sheetrock particles, things like that.
When it's really bad, I keep the kids inside. That smoke is not great. I actually thought about wearing my mask. I'm like, hey, I have this thing. I do have a real use for it this week.
Yes.
It's like I feel like I smoked 3 packs of Canadian Wildfire today.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
You have another event coming up as well, right?
Yeah, we have our Rock Your Health Summit. It is our second annual big event. We had one last year, and we're hoping to do it every year. It's going to be taking place on August 21st, 2021 at the Bismarck Event Center, and we have doubled the amount of speakers we have coming in.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have 6 phenomenal speakers coming in from across the nation. And there you'll see on the graphic is our 6 different speakers. We have Dr. Bob Zajac. He'll be kicking it off in the morning. We'll start at 8, doors open at 7:30. He's actually a board-certified pediatrician with 4 additional years in early childhood development training, and he'll be talking about truth under attack, basically how he's implemented, bodily autonomy and informed consent.
What's bodily autonomy?
Basically, your body is your own, so that no one can tell you, for instance, to get a jab or to take a certain medication or anything like that. Kind of like the my body, my choice sort of thing.
I see. Mm-hmm. And then you have Dr. Jennifer Margolis?
Yeah, Jennifer Margolis is actually a PhD. She's studied health for over 14 or 15 years, and she's actually written a couple of books on the topic. One is The Vaccine Friendly Plan and Your Baby, Your Way. She's a Fulbright grantee, I believe. She's phenomenal. She's very, very wise. And she'll be speaking actually on a very interesting topic called The Unexpected Benefits of Getting Sick. So
that must have something to do with your immune system, I'm guessing.
I would believe it would have something to do with your immune system and all that it entails.
Wonderful. And I know we're going to have 4 other speakers, and we'll kind of get into their bios, but we're going to have to take a break shortly. But can people still get tickets?
Yes, absolutely. We have purchased, or whatever, we have set up a really big room so that we are able to fit as many people in as possible. And so tickets are available on our website under the events tab. You can see the Rock Your Health Summit.
So, and just Rock Your Health Summit, and they should be able to find that?
Yes, yep.
Okay, so I'm sitting here. I talk with my hands way too much. But anyway, we're going to have to take a quick break. It's Friday. That's why I'm doing this. We're going to be right back because we have 4 other speakers that we want to learn about right after this on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hop in the rig and go down the road with me. We'll cover local and national stories that impact you. Down the Road with Joel Heitkamp weekdays at 5:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm gonna pass the savings directly on to you. Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Back. We are visiting with Lexi Wangler from Health Freedom North Dakota. And before the break, we were talking about the conference that's coming up and some of the great speakers that you have lined up. Why don't you tell us about some of the other ones?
Yeah, so the other speaker that we have coming up here is Susie Olson-Corgan. She's actually out of Seattle, Washington, and she'll be speaking on uncensored holistic health, basically how to be your own health advocate and how to take care of your body very well.
Wonderful. And she looks so familiar. Has she been in Bismarck before for another conference?
Not that I know of.
Gosh, I just feel like I know her. But and then you also have, is it Wayne?
Yeah, Wayne Rohde. He is actually a Bismarck native. He graduated class of 1979 at Century High School. So he'll be speaking on the NVIC program and COVID injuries. He has his own podcast, Right on Point, and he has written, I believe at least 2 books. The last one just came out here in June of 2021, and it's called Vaccine Court 2.0.
So does he still live in Bismarck?
He does not. He lives in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. I would say he would be a great guest to have on sometime, but you know, I'm sure he gets back here every now and then. And then you have, who was the last one then? You had one more.
Yeah, so we have actually 2 more. We have Kevin Barry. He is a lawyer out of New York, and he works with a law group called the Mermigas Law Group. He actually, with that law group, has sued the mayor and governor of New York 16 times. He'll be coming in. Yes.
Has he been successful?
I believe so, yeah, multiple times.
Awesome.
He'll be coming in, they actually call him the anti-lockdown law group. So he'll be coming in to speak about how our individual liberty can triumph over big tech, big pharma, and big government.
Wow, would that be interesting? I mean, it's just amazing that you got this level of speakers right here in Bismarck.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. And so then who was the last one that
Last but not least is Dr. Jim Meehan. He has an extensive background in the medical field, including being a medical journalist and editor. He will be speaking in particular about weaponized pseudoscience and how you can use facts and figures to promote something that might not necessarily be true.
It is.
So anti-lockdown lawyer, I thought we can't do that in North Dakota again, or can they?
Can they lock us down?
Can they lock us down?
There wasn't anything that passed legislatively to prevent that. The biggest thing that was passed was the mask not being able to require masks on a state level and the health department level. And a mandate is not law. Most people think mandates are law.
I like this
They
girl.
they are not law. So, thank you.
Well,
Like
just,
you.
every time we get on the plane, they say it's a federal law that you must wear a mask. And it is not a federal law, it is a federal mandate.
Yes.
But if you say anything about it, boom, you're off the plane.
Right. Yep.
That's the scary part. So, you had mentioned earlier about some of the legal issues. So there's 1 or 2 attorneys that are coming.
1 attorney and 2 doctors, 2 MDs.
Okay, all right. And then you also have some breakout sessions, is that right?
Yes, we have a breakout session. It's brand new this year. We were just brainstorming one day and we just thought, let's do a breakout session so that people that are in our state can connect with people that are in their region. We've split up the state into 8 different regions, and thanks Jen for figuring that out for us based on your county. So if you are, in Emmons County, you will know that you are going to be in region, I think it's 5 or 6, and so on and so forth.
So it's basically just to kind of garner support in your area, because it might be a neighbor or it could be someone 2 or 3 counties away, but you have the same passion, you meet. It's just social networking, basically.
Yes, yep. We're going to help you to connect with others that want to also advocate for health freedom, and maybe even step up to the plate and advocate for not just their family and themselves, but even more people in their region. We will be providing questions and suggestions for the person that will be attending our event to determine how to do that.
So have you, because it seems like there's more mandates coming down, whether it's masks and closures. I mean, some states are getting stricter again already.
Right.
So what is the word on the street? Can you give us a little preview of what we think we might learn?
Honestly, I think you're going to learn a lot. I think you're going to feel more empowered on taking charge of your own health and your family's health, and feeling more confident in advocating for yourself and your family and others. Really just, gaining that confidence to speak up and say, hey, this isn't right.
So isn't our own Dr. Rick Becker going to have a session there too?
Actually at our conference?
Yes.
I do not believe so. He'll be hopefully joining us in the audience.
That's what I thought. In August.
In the audience.
In the audience. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I thought there was something going on, but I obviously am wrong. But
there's still time.
That's okay.
We can change the plan.
But I did see his name on the sponsor list too.
Yes. Good. Yeah. Beck is actually a platinum sponsor, so we are so appreciative of Beck sponsoring us at that level. It is going to help us phenomenally.
Amen. And so are you looking for donations too?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are interested in donating to the cause, if you are able to donate financially, that is wonderful. You can do that on our website. But also we're looking for people to step up to the plate and help us and support us. We at any time have 4 to 10 people working as Health Freedom North Dakota. And so we're drowning in work, and we can really use your help.
And it's volunteer though, right?
Yes, it's all volunteer. So unfortunately, our family time we're sacrificing family time to do stuff like this.
Right, but you're sacrificing family time to save families.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why a lot of us feel so passionate in doing it, and why our significant others have been so supportive, because they understand that is what we're doing.
Wonderful. And so then, how long have you guys been around?
So we started in October of 2019, and we were officially a 501c3 status in June of 2020. So a little over a year where we got that status, but started a year and a half.
How'd you know to start it in October of 2019?
So we actually met as strangers in North Dakota that were working to, protest against the world takeover of medical intervention. And we were planning on doing another protest, and we just looked at each other and just said, why don't we just start a nonprofit? This is going to be great. We can do that, after we're a nonprofit, but maybe North Dakota needs something more like a 501c3 nonprofit.
I seem to remember in 2019 there was already talk of vaccine mandates, but not for the COVID-19 vaccine, for other
Right, yes,
vaccines.
Exactly. And they had already asked, employees at healthcare facilities to do the flu shot every year, and things like that. So it was just starting to look, especially in like California and New York, like it was just going to slowly creep in toward the Midwest.
I don't think we expected it to creep in this rapidly.
No, yeah, it has turned in high gear, that's for sure.
Yeah, We only have a couple minutes left, but it is so sad because there are so many doctors that are on, the side of science, which is your immune system should be doing what it's doing if you catch COVID. Not everyone, there are some people that do get very sick from COVID, but there's some people that get very sick from the flu as well.
Yes.
So there are just some of those underlying conditions that some people won't fare as well as others, but it's just gone crazy. I don't think anyone anticipated what this COVID and the vaccine what we've been up against.
Right. And I think it's so funny, like looking back when I was a kid, I remember watching commercials for, Benadryl and NyQuil and DayQuil, and they were always talking about how, if you take this, you'll be able to nail that board meeting. No one will be able to tell that you had a cold. So you're going to work, covering up those symptoms using their product, totally fine. But now in 2020, 2021, now you're not even supposed to step outside if you have a sniffle.
Yeah, and that's just it. And so many people with allergies, it's like you don't even want to sneeze. You wanted to sneeze earlier. We had that conversation.
It's August, allergies.
Right?
Yeah,
But you sneeze and you feel guilty for sneezing.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, oh my goodness, we only have about 45 seconds left. What would you like to leave our viewers with?
Well, I hope that you all can make it to our second annual Rock Your Health Summit on August 21st, 2021. And if not, I hope that you are willing to at least support those that are looking at the requirements of their job and whether or not they should stay with their employer or not.
Wonderful. It just sounds like you have one heck of a lineup ready for people to learn. So there's a VIP supper Friday night?
Yes, Friday nights are supper.
And then we have the conference on Saturday. So if you guys can get there, go ahead and get there. Log on to their website. We're going to have to take a break, but I do thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having me again. It's been a pleasure.
All right. We'll be right back after this for the lighter side on Ladies of Another View on Back.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Deciding how to promote your business can be hard. Visit the professionals at Dakota Promotions and Printing and let them help you through your struggle. Dakota Promotions provides promotional items and apparel from corporate gifts to team shirts and everything in between. With quick turnaround times and friendly service, they are your best choice. And best yet, you're shopping local. Visit them online at dakotapromo.com or stop in their showroom at 320 West Main in Mandan. Dakota Promotions, delivering promotions just for you.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
I'm Rick Becker from No Apologies. Welcome to your after-hours oasis of sanity. Watch us weeknights at 9 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Could you do us a favor? Beck TV is a finalist for Best Local TV Station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best. Vote now through August 9th by text or online. Vote for your leader in local, Beck TV.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. Lots of good information today.
Absolutely.
I just
Fun
love
guests.
it. Yeah, I love it when things go well. And so, you know, I just want to say this morning, it's been a crazy day. Started with a doctor appointment at 8 a.m. with my mother, ran home, picked up a daughter who broke down in Fargo. I mean, it's just been crazy. Ended up going to the county fair. And so we talked about the county fair when we had the My Hometown for New Salem. And I would just love it. If you guys can make it out there, it is phenomenal. So I want to pop up. I did take a few photos of some exhibits. And this first one is a board. This young lady made this. Now you might think that that's just a piece of wood, right? And I'm going to read to you what that little piece of paper that's on there. It said, the wood came from a cabin that was built by my great-grandparents who homesteaded in North Dakota. In the shed that my grandparents used as a workshop, I found large metal parts that looked like a nail. I thought those nails would be perfect as coat hooks. My dad is a mechanic, and he told me the nails were actually old motor parts for a tractor. I found the chains hanging near an old tractor and wanted to incorporate that into the project. I used them as the hanging apparatus and as a key holder. I love this piece as it took 4 generations to make. Great-grandparents built a log cabin which stored the wood. My grandparents had the tools and metal parts hanging. My dad helped me build and use the tools. I built the item and came with the idea. And I just thought that was so precious. I mean, here's definitely something that is it's a family keepsake. Isn't that just amazing?
I love it. I love using old things and repurposing them, and when they have meeting like that, it's so special.
Oh, and I'm guessing that that's something that family members will fight over for the next 4 generations, let's hope, right?
They could.
And I bet she's probably had orders from other family members to build stuff like that.
She might.
She might. So anyway, there was also a rodeo. My daughter, Claire, actually was doing barrel racing up there. I don't even know how well she did because she was number 5 out.
She had a clean ride, though.
She did. She did have a clean ride, but I think there's a photo there with Claire and my mother, perhaps. And if we can't hop to that, then let's just go ahead. There was all kinds of exhibits. I mean, if you've never been to a county fair, I mean, do your kids do exhibits at any fairs?
My kids do not. I did when I was a kid, though. I remember taking food. I remember taking arts. We had quite a few different things. We took corn one year. It was good.
Wonderful. Well, I know you were really good friends with Florence King.
Yes.
And so, oh, there we go. Here's a bunch of the baked goods. Now, I think these are the 4-H kids. But look at all those purple ribbons and the blue ribbons. And people actually, the judges will come up and they have to taste it. They look at it, they inspect it, make sure that the fruit is evenly spaced. So that was one of the deals. We also had, oh gosh, there was just tables and tables full of paintings and woodworking and welding and just all kinds of exhibits.
It's not all kids that exhibit, though, is it?
No, certainly not. There's a bunch of, it's called open class, and so you don't have to be a member of, say, 4-H or FFA. You just entered in an open class, and that's actually, my mom does a lot of that. She does some paintings and whatnot, but it's just fun. I mean, there can be canned goods. Do you do any canning?
I try not to. I help my mother with canning tomatoes. She cans the best tomatoes.
Awesome.
She won a blue ribbon at the Morton County Fair and at the State Fair for her lasagna.
Oh my gosh. And you would think you would need that to be good and hot to taste test.
I think that she did have it hot for taste testing.
Yeah, I just wonder how that works. You know, I just think of driving 2 hours. How do you keep your lasagna hot?
I think she baked it like nearby so that it would be hot. But yeah, it was a good time. There's just so many things to see because they also have the livestock show, and then I talked about bringing corn, and I remember that we have this Morton County Fair after the State Fair, which seems backwards because you think you'd go to the county fair and that you'd win at the county fair and then you'd take your prize winning whatever production to the State Fair, and it's backwards.
I know.
But it's partly because you have a longer growing season, you have a better quality product to take to the fair, and Morton County being so late.
Sure. So I did have a chance to walk through some of the livestock barns, and this is the Lennick family, and I want to say it's Abby, Peyton, Allie, and Annie. And so they were just kind of hanging out with their cattle right there. And then we also went through the sheep barn and ran into a little gal by the name of Sophia Voigt, and those are her sheep. I mean, it is just so much fun. There's just so many things to do. There were rabbits and chickens and all kinds of great things. And then I think we also, I have a photo of some chairs that were done. If we could pop that up real quick. Okay, so this is the FFA projects. And so these are FFA kids that also enter in the county fair.
Okay. And they all did the same thing, but with their own little touches, I suppose.
Exactly, exactly. And then it was kind of funny. I know we only have a minute left, but there was a vendor there by the name of Roland Rebel. And if you remember our Washburn show, she has a little boutique up in Washburn, and boom, there she is at the county fair. So
they have food booths and like food trucks out there. Do they have a dance this year?
There is a beer garden and dance. There's live music every night. So if you guys are looking for something to do, I mean, honest to God, there are just so many fun things. There's bouncy houses. There's just take the kids. There's a rodeo tonight, and I don't know if there's one again tomorrow night. I don't have the full schedule, but you can log on to mortoncounty.org and go ahead and find the schedule. But you just can't go, I mean, I should say, it's your fair, so be there, right?
That's right.
So anyway, we want to thank you for joining us today and hope you learned a little bit of something. And, you know, if you want to take in on that conference or just stand up for what's right. We'll see you next time on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm gonna pass the savings directly on to you. For example, you get my 6-piece towel sets, regular $109.99, now only $44.98. Or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get my 6-piece towel sets, regular $109.99, now only $44.98. Or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.